Ciao Tour, viaggia con noi, è un gioco da ragazzi. Vacanze in musica.
Evil mindset, plot destruction, sorcerer, death construction. In the fields the body's burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred through mankind. Last night. When darkness won't stop stirring, this is where the body's burning. No more war picks up the power. God has struck the hour. Underneath the war pigs crawling, make it mercy for the sin. Satan Francis Willis. Oh Lord, yeah!
Ich hoffe, ihr bleibt dran. Ihr seht die letzten Videos eurer Grand Parade. And on German that means, well, that's been for today. I hope to see you tomorrow till Friday. And have a nice evening. See you. Bye.
Se hai qualche problema, una voce amica ti ascolterà. Telefono amico, Milano Sud 02 82 46 200 oppure 02 89 20 19 14. Tutti i giorni compresi i festivi, dalle 9 alle 12 e dalle 16 alle 22.
Il miglior comandante della Marina sovietica.
Navighiamo verso la storia.
Lo farò saltare in aria fino su Marte.
Dal bestseller di Tom Clancy. Diretto dal regista di Die Hard.
Comandante, gli dia una chance. Gli ordini che ho sono precisi.
Posti di combattimento.
Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin, James Earl Jones, Scott Glenn, Sam Neill in Caccia a Ottobre Rosso.
Special! 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 Special!
Hello everyone, this is Jackie.
And I'm Karen, and we're Bananarama.
Karen, especially because the initial formation of the Bananarama came out of different strands of journalism. That is, there was Sarah and Siobhan that were both studying journalism, and you were working at the BBC. What happened that you all fell out of love with that field and fell into love with the music field?
Well, I wasn't actually doing anything to do with journalism. I joined the BBC from school because it gave me an opportunity to leave home and move to London, basically, and it sounded interesting because I wanted to get involved in television, but I ended up in a really boring office job. So the group started very shortly after I started work there. I mean, me and Sarah had been together since school, and then she met Siobhan at the college where they were studying, which was around the corner from where I worked, and we just became friends, and we ended up living together in the same flat. And sharing a room above a rehearsal room that the Sex Pistols used to use, and just messing around on the instruments. And we always enjoyed singing. I think we'd all pretended to be singers in our childhood, and we just got up on stage with anyone who'd let us. We used to dance or play tambourines, whatever, and it just came out of that.
Difficulties being an all-girl band? Did you find a lot of discrimination?
Initially, no. Initially we found it really easy. Someone heard about us through a friend and paid for us to make a demo. And the demo was picked up by London Records, or Decca as it then was. The only sort of discrimination that came seemed to be after that. First of all, everyone really admired us because they thought we had real cheek to just get up and do it, because we were obviously straight out for clubs just off the street, and we had no pretensions. And then all of a sudden we became a bit too successful for their liking, and they started saying, yeah, well, they're just silly girls and they're not musicians. And the backlash started about a year afterwards, I'd say, after we'd had a few hits. We'd never really thought about it. I've never really thought of myself as being any less than a man anyway.
example, a record company that wanted to impose a certain look as far as clothes and makeup goes?
Well, with our record company, we've been quite lucky because they didn't really know what they had when they signed us. I think they saw us as a bit of a novelty act, and when we were successful, I don't really think they understood it to begin with, so they just let us get on with things. When we had our first flop in England, they sort of turned around and sort of thought, well, maybe you should smarten yourselves up because we used to look such a mess. And maybe you should show a bit more leg because we were real tomboys.
And wear tighter skirts and dresses and things. But we wouldn't give in to that.
No way. We've always just done what we want, really.
This waiting song was a very famous and had a nice beat, and people that danced to that so much really didn't think about the continents of that. Can you tell a little bit the story that's behind that song?
Well, it lost a lot. The song started off, believe it or not, as Pull Up to the Bumper by Grace Jones was the inspiration behind the backing track, which I don't know what on earth happened to that side of things. It was originally a song about a sort of rape, but really it's just a song about people's obsessions and how they can hide behind them and not face real relationships because they're obsessed with a film star or a pop star, which happens a lot. And he just happened to be a favourite of all of us, and we admired him and thought he was quite attractive as well. And the name sounded good. But yes, it was more serious. I think that was the trouble with a lot of the songs that we had that were more political and more serious, is we didn't want to make dirgy sort of music, so when you put it in a pop song it doesn't come across as well as if you put it in a sort of Smithsy type song. You know, it didn't quite work for us. I don't really think it's our strong point. You know, I think we were too intent on proving ourselves to be something other than empty-headed girls, and then we got past the point of caring, and we didn't feel like we had to prove anything. And we write songs now that we enjoy and that people can enjoy listening to when they're in that mood. If they want to listen to political songs, they can listen to someone else who can do it better.
Teenage dreams. Boys living next door are never what they seem. Ooh, a walk in the park can become a bad dream. People are staring and following me. This is my only escape from it all. Watching a film or a face on a wall. Robert De Niro's waiting. Italian. Robert De Niro's waiting. Robert De Niro's waiting. Talking Italian. Robert De Niro's waiting.
She left to face a solo career, to have this marriage, this child. Did you ever feel the necessity also of carrying on from a personal side of your own lives?
Well, I have a child.
You didn't have to leave the group.
No. The thing is with Siobhan, it was basically once she married Dave, obviously they wanted to spend time together, and their life was no longer based in London. It wasn't the fact that she was married with a child, it was more the fact that he had a house in LA where he needed to spend time and she wanted to be with him, or a house in the south of France. Whereas when I had my child, I was still always based in good old London. So Siobhan wasn't available to do a lot of the work and a lot of the promotion for obvious personal reasons. And I think also she'd reached the point where she really couldn't cope with maybe working with Stock Aitken Waterman anymore. She certainly didn't see eye to eye with Peter, as she'll freely tell you if you ever ask her. And she probably reached that point a little before me and Sarah, and we've probably only just reached that point.
With your new shoes and your black moves, you really break my heart. With your world of fame and your family name, you really break my heart. Wrapped up warm in yourself tonight, you wonder why things aren't going right. You really break my heart. 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 Got a good-looking lover, don't need any other to break my heart. Reading highbrow books just to cultivate your looks, you really break my heart. You really. Watch out, here's another breakdown. Wonder what caused it this time round. You really break my heart. 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 I'll bleed for you. You really break my heart. You really break my heart. You really break my heart.
Bruce Hornsby Special. Il pianista e cantante della Virginia dipinge per noi i suoi paesaggi straordinari e profondi. Scene del Sud, lunedì 10 alle 19:30, venerdì 14 alle 23 e sabato 15 alle 19:30 su Video Music.
Metti in Modena in programma perché Video Music e i prodotti della plastica vi offrono Plastic Moment, una serata gratuita di fun e musica con Dennis and the Jets, Rick e Clive e la loro rock bottom band, dove tutto questo alla Festa Nazionale dell'Unità a Modena il 17 di settembre, ore 21:30 per Plastic Moment.
Plastica, riplastica, riciclata sei fantastica.
Jackie, how did you feel when you were called by Peter Warren? Weren't you scared of entering this well-established group?
Well, yeah, the first sort of feelings I had was just like shock and excitement. And when Pete Waterman told me it was Sarah and Karen, because they called me into the office and I didn't know who it was for, and they asked me if I was prepared to give up everything and go off on tour, and I said yeah, because I was like really into doing bands and things. And when I found out it was them, it's like perfect, a little dream come true, as corny as it sounds. But to go on like in the band with your two best friends, it's fantastic. But it's hard work.
Yes, I believe also because you had to sort of maybe stand up to expectations that a lot of the Bananarama fans had.
That's right, yeah, but they seem to like me and accept me, yeah.
It didn't seem to bother them at all. I think, you know, everyone was really worried when Siobhan left, and we didn't know whether to just carry on as two. We actually thought that the three girls worked really well, and we asked Jackie, and we didn't want to ask her ourselves in case she said no. And if she'd have said no, we would have been just two of us, because there was no one else we could think of, and we couldn't possibly have auditioned because the whole thing was based on friendship.
Friends, yeah.
You said something about the fact that your relationships with Waterman were breaking, going towards a breakup.
No, it's not. It's nothing personal. I mean, we've really enjoyed working with them. They will have probably at least one track on this album, which we've already done, maybe even two. We felt musically we wanted to move on. I think you get to a point, we'd already done the Wow album with them, and as far as I can see, musically they haven't developed beyond. The end of the Wow album was the sort of I Want You Back, where to me it started going a bit too poppy, and they seemed to carry that on with all their other artists, and
it began to sound all the same to us.
I mean, you want your individual attention. You want to go in to make an album, be really excited and try and create something new, and it didn't seem possible because they were stuck in a sort of formula that we didn't really want to be part of, and we didn't feel like we could develop. So that's why we moved on. There's nothing to say we won't work with them again. I think they've got a record out now which doesn't actually sound like some of the other stuff, so they're obviously moving on.
Yeah.
And I do think they're very talented as well.
Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
What's got to do with you? What's it got to do with you?
What is the continents of the text, of the lyrics? What do the songs talk about?
Love, mainly.
Yeah, I think as we've grown up, so the lyrics have got more into relationships and love, because when we were younger, what concerned us more was probably going out and having a good time, and we went through a stage where our songs became slightly heavier. The second and third albums had some quite heavy lyrics on. There was a lot of things happening around us. We had a friend who was shot dead in Belfast. We had someone else we knew very well who was heavily into drugs, and so we wrote about those things. I think we were too embarrassed to write about love in those days, a bit too immature.
But now we understand it fully.
So yeah, love tends to take over.
With you by my side, I can do anything.
success that is moving closer to the club scene as it's conceived now in the 90s?
Well, I think with Youth, Youth hasn't really had any success in the pop charts at all, so it could be seen as quite a risk. To me, it's perfect because we've sort of got the knowledge of the pop side of things, and he's got the knowledge of what goes down well in the clubs. I mean, he's really he does loads of remixes, you know, and he's got all the latest sort of dance beats and things. So it's like a perfect combination. It's what we've always wanted to do. It's like the perfect thing with a nice heavy dance track that works well in the clubs, but with a classic pop song over the top. And it's just seemed to suddenly come together. So that's why the album's not really finished yet, because we've decided to do more with him.
Band, who takes care of writing the lyrics and who takes care of writing the music? Or is that a joint venture?
It's varied a lot through the years. Sarah writes most of the lyrics, and musically we all chip in. Particularly now we're working with Youth, it's really good because we actually work on the backing tracks from start to finish with him. We go in with initial ideas or sounds we like or beats we like, and he's got a million computers in his dad's back room and he can play whatever you like. So we're more involved from that stage.
I prefer working on the stage, just seeing the audience is just fantastic. There's nothing else like it at all.
Yeah, I like them both. I mean, it's a different form of the job. They're both satisfying. It's really satisfying and exciting when you sort of have worked on a song from the beginning and you hear it finished in the studio and you think it sounds brilliant. Yeah, that's great. But then I did enjoy the tour. It was just a classic.
Just seeing everyone go mad in the audience, it was brilliant.
It just gives you real satisfaction.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. And now those days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind, I've opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, down, down. To appreciate you being round, round, round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me?
And had you not had such a success as a band, what kind of job or profession would it have done?
I thought if it wasn't singing, then I'd be an actress, so maybe I'll be doing that now. Who knows?
I couldn't even bear to think. I mean, I've been doing this since I was a teenager, so I can't even think. Until the time came to stop, I wouldn't even know what I'd be doing. No idea.
playing backing vocals, we're singing the medley.
Well, we better be, otherwise it'll be trouble.
When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. And now those days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind, I've opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
Oh, the banana's finished too early again.
That's it, I'm leaving.
That's in the can, Pete. It's in the can. It's in the can.
It's a wrap.
Shut up, kid.